So, your doctor says you need an MRI. If you've got a high-deductible health plan, you know that moment, that financial gut punch. But what if I told you that you can actually take control of that cost? That's what this is all about. A practical guide to navigating the system and saving yourself hundreds, maybe even thousands on your next scan. This quote right here, this is basically our mantra for today. I love this because it gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's not just about the sticker price. It's about preventing that dreaded second, or heaven forbid, third surprise bill that shows up in the mail weeks after you thought you were all paid up. And that's the big question, right? It feels like a rigged game. You get one bill for the machine and the facility, and then another one for the radiologist who actually reads the scan. But here's the thing. This is a solvable problem. This is all about shifting your mindset from being a passive patient to a savvy operator who knows exactly what to ask to beat the system. Okay, let's dive into our first really big concept. And it's going to sound a little weird, but stick with me. We have to challenge this idea that just using your insurance is automatically the cheapest way to go, especially when you haven't even come close to meeting that deductible yet. Okay, so check this out. It's like there are two different pricing worlds. Over on the left, you've got your insurance price, this thing called the allowed amount. But before you hit your deductible, you're on the hook for that whole number. Now look at the right, the cash pay price. It's a simple, single, bundled price that imaging centers offer just to avoid the headache of dealing with insurance. And you know what? A lot of the time, that simple cash price is way, way cheaper. So how do you unlock that better price? Well, it all comes down to what we're calling the one-number secret. It's about learning to ask one single, incredibly powerful question that just cuts through all the noise and stops those surprise bills in their tracks. And this slide just lays out the trap perfectly. You get a quote for the scan, the facility fee, and you think, okay, great, that's the price. But then, bam! Weeks later, another bill shows up for the professional fee, the radiologist's interpretation. Your goal is to smash these two things together right from the start. You want one single all-in price, period. And here it is. This is your magic script. Seriously, you might want to pause and take a screenshot of this. When you call a facility, you need to ask, word for word, can you quote me the all-in cash price for the MRI, including the radiologist interpretation? That exact phrasing is your #1 defense against getting hit with extra fees later on. Okay, so you've got the magic script down, but you still have to watch out for a few landmines that can trip you up. See, to get a real apples-to-apples comparison between different places, you have to be absolutely sure you're getting a quote for the exact same service. So for every single place you call, you need to lock in these 4 details. What's the specific CPT code? Is it with or without contrast? Then you ask again, I'm serious, and you're positive that includes the radiologist's read? And finally, how fast will you get the report? Getting these 4 things makes sure you're comparing the exact same product everywhere. Next up, let's talk about where you get the scan, because honestly, this is where the biggest savings are usually hiding. A hospital outpatient center might seem convenient, but they have massive overhead costs. And guess who pays for that? You do. Freestanding imaging centers, though, they're built to be lean, efficient, and competitive. That's usually where you'll find the best cash deals. All right, you've done your homework. You've gathered your quotes. Now it's decision time. Do you go with the cash price, or do you run it through your insurance? The great news is there's a really simple way to figure out the smartest path for your wallet this year. The entire decision comes down to this one number. Seriously, I want you to pause if you have to, pull up your insurance app or website, and find out exactly how much you have left to pay on your deductible for the year. This number is the key to everything. The logic here is super simple. If you have thousands of dollars left on your deductible, you're going to be paying for this MRI out of your own pocket anyway. So in that case, why would you pay the higher insurance-allowed price when you can get a much cheaper all-in cash deal? It just makes sense. But, and this is a big but, if you're really close to hitting your deductible for the year, or you know you have other medical expenses coming up, it might actually be smarter to use your insurance. That MRI cost could be the thing that pushes you over the edge, unlocking your benefits and saving you a ton of money in the long run. Okay, so we've covered the theory, we've got the scripts, we understand the math. Now, let's turn all this talk into action. This is a real, concrete plan you can use to get actual numbers and make a smart decision in less than 30 minutes. This is your game plan. It's simple. You're going to make 2 calls to freestanding centers. That's where you hunt for the best cash price. 1 call to a hospital, just to get a baseline, and on every single call, you use that magic script. Then 1 last call to your insurance company. That's it. 4 calls, and you'll have all the info you need. And please, as you're making these calls, use a simple chart just like this one. Don't try to keep all these numbers in your head. It's a recipe for disaster. Just jot down the details for each place. This little bit of organization is what keeps you from making a $1,000 mistake because you forgot which quote included the radiologist's fee. And this slide just brings it all home. You've done the work, you've got your numbers on your tracker, now you're standing at this fork in the road. Over on the left, you've got the cash path. Great if you're far from your deductible. On the right, the insurance path. The smarter move if you're close to hitting that deductible. You now have everything you need to pick the lane that saves you the most money. Now, before we finish up, I need to get very, very serious for a minute. All this advice about shopping for a better price is fantastic, but it comes with one enormous exception. Your health always, always, always comes first. There are times when you need to stop shopping and just act. Please look at this list very carefully. These are medical red flags. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, the time for price shopping is over. The only right move is to call your doctor or get to an urgent care right away. You can figure out the bills later. Your safety is not negotiable. And I just want to leave you with this final thought. If this all feels overwhelming and complicated, you are not alone. The healthcare system can feel like it's confusing on purpose. So if you find it hard, you're not failing. You are navigating a very tough landscape. And by taking these steps, you are doing an amazing job of taking control.